Hello?
How about I lost all of that audio trying to save it, and now I'm going to try to recreate it with you. So I don't remember what I said or
What?
how I said it exactly. So let's just start again because now I've got my grandson waiting for me, and I'm already overtime. So let's just try to repeat what we
Okay.
did and see if we can duplicate it. So I'll start out with the icebreaker before we get into the review of the books. You notice how fast I'm talking right now?
Okay, well, my time is yours and I'm all in. So,
Okay, so
how would
my
you like to
icebreaker had to do with the separation anxiety that maybe I accepted. Somehow or another, I said that to myself and now it's playing in my head and I can't get rid of it. Maybe I need to stop saying I have separation anxiety. How about maybe I have the results or the effects of separation anxiety? Because I'm now bothered by recent and people in the past that have changed positions in terms of how close I am or how distant I am with them or how close or distant they are with me. Some days are better than others. Some days it really bothers me and keeps me up at night. And some days I couldn't give two rats apple bottoms. So, with
Mm-hmm.
that being said, today is one of those days where I'm reminiscing and thinking of what I said to myself as a little boy. People always leave me. They always leave me, and I don't get to tell my side of the story. I hear that inside of my head. It's like, I just don't understand separation. I don't understand distancing because there's nobody in the world that I would not answer, I would not talk to, I would not give as long an explanation as they need as to why I either do or don't do something now or in the past or in the future. But sometimes when people become offended, they become distant, and that's how maybe they will either punish you or that's how they cope themselves. And I don't do well with separation. So when someone distanced themselves for whatever reason, it could be a total stranger. I it just bothers me and I'm not sure why. And maybe I'll do some investigation. Maybe I'll tell my therapist this again and maybe I'll eventually get it. But that's my icebreaker. Anything you want to say about that, and then I can move on.
Well, it was just interesting how you use the word punish. People will punish you. And that was just interesting how you use that word.
Well, let me just elaborate on that. I think when people don't get what they want out of you, if you don't correspond, or how will I say, if you don't, what is the word I'm looking for? If you don't conform to what someone expects of you, they're getting
Mm-hmm.
back at you is to say, okay, I'm going to cut him off or cut her off, or I'm going to do something to them. Punish might not be
Mm-hmm.
the best word, but it's the word I use, and I'm glad you caught it if you
Right.
need clarity on it. I'm just saying when people don't get what they want out of you, they distance themselves, not because you're bad, but because, okay, I can't get what I need, so I don't need him at all or her at all, because, people do it, all the time. I'm just saying.
Well, do you set boundaries yourself in such a way?
Absolutely. That's why I'm saying maybe I'm overthinking or maybe I'm a little too sensitive. I don't know of anyone that I've set a boundary so much so that I won't answer or won't call, or that I would actually, block or delete someone. I guess if someone is harming me, no doubt about it. But people that I've once called friend or have ever entrusted in any kind of way, that now, especially family members, close in first round relatives, whenever they do that, it's like, I just don't get it. But maybe I'm not supposed to get it. Maybe I'm supposed to do what I think is bothering me more than the fact that I'm feeling something today. It's just the monster that I'm turning into. Because I think if I was to totally respond to that, I would be the jerk that I'm possibly being accused of. And I don't want to become that person. I don't want to become the person that doesn't trust anybody and will make somebody bend over backwards 9 times before I trust them. And
Mm-hmm.
I have fear of trusting people because of the fear of separation. That's the end of it right there. That's just what I'm
Right.
feeling in this moment, not the season. I'm excited about the season because the book is out, and that's hot tamales to me. I'm excited, but since last night and today, I've been kind of dwelling on that little sad little nugget that's been planted in my head about why they don't want to talk to me or why they, it's
Mm-hmm.
that. So anyway,
Okay. It's a trigger and one that you're reflecting on and you're feeling some kind of way and you're talking about it.
and I'm not ashamed to
So,
talk about it. So talk about me
mm-hmm.
all you want. I feel better now. Anyway, let's get into
Okay.
the book. You listened to
Okay.
the last two reviews, correct?
Yes, I did.
And they're entitled, for the sake of discussing them, one is actually entitled questionable-ish, questionable, something to that degree, but it ended up being overcoming. I'm going to change that title, make it a subtitle, questionable/overcomer. And then the last one was perseverance. You heard both of those, right? Did you notice any dynamics in the two?
Yes, the tone of each one was a little different.
And how would you describe the difference in the tones?
Well, my observation was that one tone had more of a history of knowing you, and the other person might have been just a fresh reader, someone who might have read it or met you briefly and read it for the first time.
Mm-hmm. And the dynamics were they night and day? Were they just black and white, or were they sort of just grayish? Were those dynamics totally different?
I think they were, yes, totally different.
Did you get something out of both of them?
Yes, I did. I did get something out of both of them.
Which of the two you think were more accurate in terms of what was actually written?
The perseverance one was a more fresh read, get to know you for the very first time, no history involved.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that, I like to say, so you're saying even after you said what you said. I just want clarity now. So, I know, right? So the of what was written, you're saying that the perseverance one was a more accurate response to what was actually written. So then how would you say, what would you call the response if it was less accurate than what was actually written? Oh, maybe I'm going to answer it myself. Maybe the first response, because of the history, was more of how they may have felt about me as opposed to what was actually written. Did I answer my own question?
Yes.
But that's not what you said. I planted that in your head. Now you're going to build on that.
No. What you got was the surface reader, the one that just got to know you briefly and got to know you through the book, right, which was actually written on the page, was different from the person who has a historical perception of you and probably did entertain their own thoughts, feelings, and belief as they read what you wrote.
Aha. So here's something that I'm going to take from that. Anyone that gives me a review that knows me is going to have a different perspective than someone that doesn't know me. That is scary.
No,
No?
not necessarily. Well, I think that you have to examine the perspective that each one has taken. Somebody's just freshly getting to know you on the page versus somebody who may know some of your stories, may know some of your history, may know you since you're a kid, and can reflect on those times of being in your presence, witnessing you as you grew up, and then how you as a man are describing that today. Well, so yes, there's history there.
I'm tying in how someone may know me or how long they may have known me versus how they may feel about me, because someone could have known me for 6 months and feel a certain way, and someone known me for 10 years and feel a certain way. I think what is scary is that someone will filter it based on how they feel about me instead of what they're actually reading.
Yeah, but at the same time, they might be excited to hear and know a little bit more about you and see that side of you that maybe on the surface or in the time they got to know you, they didn't know. They didn't know what's going on with you in your life.
No, but what I'm saying is,
it's kind of interesting.
Well, that's what I guess I'm digging out right now. What's interesting to me in particular is someone that you can know someone and feel a certain way about them. I'm thinking how they may feel about me may be more impactful than what they actually read. Because if someone likes you, they're going to like everything you read, whether they like. If someone doesn't or has some kind of, I don't know, emotions about it, they may feel a certain way. And that's why I said it was scary. I might have to be careful of who I ask for a review, because if someone feels a certain way about you, they're going to have their responses, or their review is going to be based on how they feel as opposed to what they actually read. So the difference between the two dynamics in the one that was the not perseverance. I keep forgetting. The overcomer
Questionable
had
overcomer.
a certain type of feeling about me that I believe was very present. How
Yes.
they felt versus what they actually read, because some of the things they
Uh-huh.
read was like, okay, no, that's not what was actually conveyed or even actually written. So that's why I'm saying it's scary. I have to be careful that if someone thinks or feels a certain way, they're going to then filter it through what they read. And that's what I think the two difference in the dynamics. The
Right.
one viewer had a certain feeling and a thought, and that's how they filtered it. And the other person had very little, and they only had what was written as opposed to
Uh-huh.
the additional history, as you would call it. So there you go.
Right. Well, another interesting thing is that in the radio days, when you speak to somebody who only knew you from the radio days, they might find all of those things very enlightening. Very, your style of writing. They may be impressed at how well you write. I mean, just think about who are the people that what they may or may not have known about you, and what they learned that was exciting and didn't know before. So I wouldn't say that you have to be that careful. I mean, if you know someone doesn't like you, maybe you don't want to interview them. But that's all I'm
Well, no,
saying,
I
because
would
those are
interview
exciting
anyone.
responses.
I understand what you're saying, and I know you were making fun of that. But if someone likes or doesn't like me for whatever reason, I still would want their feedback, because what's written is what's written. How they may
Yeah.
view it is what I am focusing on. And when I say I have to be careful, I'm not afraid. I mean, I
Right.
really want the true perspective of someone. I just have to be mindful of the fact that their perspective could be coming from how they feel as opposed to what they actually read, because
Right.
that's something I'm noticing also. A certain person, if they know you or have a certain thought or feeling about you, they're going to have a different way of looking at what you write or what you do in general.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, this wasn't bad at all.
No.
But if you have anything to say, go ahead and say it. And otherwise, I can let you go. I appreciate your response. Your thoughts about the book?
Well, I've read it a few times. Uh, I've only known you, let's say, for maybe 5 years max. So I got a lot out of the stories that you told. I feel like uh, you actually succeeded beyond your circumstance. It was fun to see all of the uh, cute little nuggets you put in there, and then also difficult to hear the vulnerable side. You have had uh, a long journey, and I think hopefully you had a good cathartic moment by finishing that book, and it helps propel you on to the next season of your life.
Awesome. Okay. Well, with that being said, I'm going to let you go. I am
Okay.
enjoying these reviews. I think I'm going to do them a few more. I have 3 or 4 that I'm excited about getting reviews from. I have one that's going to do a part 2. And as one of my relatives asked me, do you need approval? And I understood what she actually meant. I don't think I'm looking for approval in these reviews. I kind of want to know what people are thinking, and I respect their perception, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. So I'm excited about finally finishing that project after so long, and just getting the feedback is helping me to, I guess, feel a certain way, think a certain way, just understand that someone will hear it and read it and feel, however they feel. And I'm excited about the feedback.
Yeah. Well, me too. I have enjoyed, after reading the book and then listening to the feedback, I'm excited to hear the rest of them. No matter which direction, what perspective they go, it's interesting to hear.
I will say this before you go. With the few reviews that I've had, there's some areas that are more touchy than others, and no one has touched on some of the more sensitive areas, and I'm okay with that. And I'm excited to see what will be triggered if someone does have a response or a
Hmm.
review or want to ask questions about certain things. But so far, I haven't gotten. Oh, I got to take this call. Hey, we got to go.
Okay.
I love you.
Talk
Appreciate
soon.
you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye bye.
bye. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's my call that I was waiting for. With that being said, there's another one just like the other one. And I'm going to keep doing these reviews for as long as they can. They're exciting to me. I feel like Tyler Perry is stealing some of my thunder, though, with his new movie on Netflix. It's a great movie. I enjoyed watching it, and I got caught up in it before I realized that, oh, wow, this is typical Tyler Perry. I gave him 2 thumbs up. I'm noticing a certain type of people with the bigger reviews and the bigger responses, and I will highly recommend it. So I don't want to rain on him in any kind of way. But after I look at it and reviewed it and enjoyed it, I think it's somewhat typical of what he does and how he does what he does. Just like burger joints, they sell burgers, chicken joints sell chicken, pizza joints sell pizza. Tyler Perry serves a certain type of narrative, and I think he did it again. He's consistent with what he does. I'm not surprised. I was well entertained. I will probably watch it again before I go to heaven, and will even strongly suggest that you eventually watch it, but not before you read my memoir, My Mother's Fifth Child Reveal Exposed, which is available on Amazon and soon to be on my website, travisbridges.com, and Barnes & Nobles. Till the next time, take real good care of yourself. Find someone you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it, show it, mean it, let it be true. And I have to start adding this now. Even if they don't believe you love or care for them, how they feel about what you express is not your business. So continue to express yourself to the best of your ability and let it fall where it falls. And take care, okay? Ciao.